Hello everyone, how are you? Today is a very beautiful day. So, I will explain a very easy lesson. This is an anatomy lesson. So, I think this lesson is very important to our school children and our university students and all the adults. So, I think you can watch this video step by step until the end. And watch this full video. This is an very easy lesson, and I will explain this anatomy lesson very simply. So let's start. Today I will discuss about cardiovascular system, basic anatomy of heart. What is the heart? Yeah, the heart is a hollow muscular organ that is somewhat pyramid shaped. It lies within the pericardium in the mediastinum. So, it is connected at its base to the great blood vessels, but otherwise lies free within the pericardium. So, then we will find the location of the heart. Heart lies in the thoracic cavity in the mediastinum between the lungs. It lies indirectly a little more to the left than the right. Presents a base above and apex below. Apex is about 9 cm to the left of the midline at the level of the 5th intercostal space. It means a little below to the nipple and slightly nearer the midline. The base extends to the level of the second rib. So, now we'll discuss about the organs associated with the heart. Inferiorly, the apex rests on the central tendon of the diaphragm, and superiorly, the great blood vessels, example, the aorta, superior vena cava, pulmonary artery and pulmonary veins. And then, posteriorly, the esophagus, trachea, left and right bronchus, descending aorta, inferior vena cava and thoracic vertebrata. Then, anteriorly, the sternum, ribs and intercostal muscles. Laterally, the lungs. The left lung overlaps the left side of the heart. So, what are the chambers of the heart? Heart is divided by vertical septa into 4 chambers. Right and left atrium, right and left ventricles. So, now I'll explain about right atrium. It consists of a main cavity and a small outpouching, the auricle. On the outside of the heart, at the junction between the right atrium and the right auricle, is a vertical groove and the sulcus terminals, which on the inside forms a ridge, the crista terminals. Part of the atrium in front of the ridge is rounded bundles of muscle fibers, the musculi pectinae. Openings into the right atrium. What are the openings into the right atrium? So, superior vena cava opens into the upper part of the right atrium. It has no valve. It returns the blood to the heart from the upper half of the body. Then, inferior vena cava opens into the lower part of the right atrium. It returns the blood to the heart from the lower half of the body. Then, coronary sinus, which drains most of the blood from the heart wall, opens into the right atrium between the inferior vena cava and the atrioventricular orifice. Right atrioventricular orifice. It lies anterior to the inferior vena cava opening and it guarded by a tricuspid valve. So now we are talking about the right ventricle. Right ventricle communicates with the right atrium through the atrioventricular orifice. Cavity approach the pulmonary orifice, it becomes funnel shaped infundibulum. Then walls of the right ventricle are much thicker than the right atrium, and a ventricular wall sponge-like appearance and are known as trabeculae carnae. So, trabeculae carnae are composed of three types. First type comprise the papillary muscles. Their base is attached to the ventricular wall. Apses attached to the tricuspid valve via chordate density. And so now we'll talk about right ventricle. So tricuspid valve guards the atrioventricular orifice opening, consists of the three cuspes formed by a fold of endocardium which some connective tissue enclosed, and the anterior cuspes and septal cuspes. So inferior posterior cuspes. So the pulmonary valve guards the pulmonary orifice, consists of the three semilunar cuspes, one posterior left cusp and two anterior and right cusps. So we will move on to the left atrium. It is similar to the right atrium, and left atrium consists of a main cavity and a left auricle. Forms the greater dart of the base or the dorsal surface of the head. So now talk about the left atrium. Left atrium, it means a fibrous pericardium separates from the esophagus, and interior of the left atrium is smooth. So opening into the left atrium. What are the openings into the left atrium? 4 pulmonary veins, 2 from each lung, open through the posterior wall. Left ventricle communicates with the left atrium through the atrioventricular orifice. Walls of the left ventricle are 3 times thicker than the right ventricle. A mitral valve guards the atrioventricular orifice. It consists of 2 cuspes, one anterior and one posterior.